Hey, welcome. This is Corrie Thorne. I am in doing my monthly channeled messages. Had just think about what I was doing. These are channeled forecast readings. They are meant to be through the energy of those born under each sign. And right now I am working through Scorpio, and we are still in Scorpio season. And this is actually being recorded on the new moon. So I'm just looking at my little messages that I have to myself here. So this is not a astrological reading. This is energy forecast and me channeling through. So asking my guides, the guardians to give me what it is that you need to know today. So let me tell you, Scorpio, as we're coming in this place, I can guarantee you, you are definitely not in a place of honest and authentic with yourselves. And not all, don't get me wrong, but we have kick-ass Pluto around you, and we have Mars, and you share Mars with Aries. And I just feel like, what am I getting for you? So I'm dressed in all black. I'm down here today dressed in all black and I just feel like I have some sort of almost like you're going through some sort of stage of mourning, some sort of stage of grief, and you're not freaking letting go. And now mourning and grief, I mean, for you, for life, why do you keep trying to be this raw energy? Like you can be this, why do you keep trying to step into masculine energy? Every time you do, it knocks you on your ass. And, there's a balance. But when you try to overload it, when you try to be larger than life in kind of like, I can do this, like you're trying to manipulate your own energy instead of saying, I don't have to become that kind of big, or I don't have to become that kind of strong to do this. You are meant to be in that softer, gentler strength. And you're not. And I'm like, and because of that, you are trying to hold up the world, or you're trying to hold up all of this story that you've created. You're trying to live in this story. And I'm like, okay, drop it, put it down, let it go, because it is not serving you. It is this, we are in a massive time of transformation. Tonight is the new moon that I'm recording this for you. Or sorry, the day before the new moon. The new moon is on the 4th, but we're in the energy of the new moon. And that sense of that independence, that struggle, that fight for independence. I mean, Pluto has definitely come back into, it's been like a long time since it's been there, like 200-300 years. Like it's come full circle. Pluto has done a full circle back into that sense of its strength or its independence, apparently. Now, I'm not an astrologer. I'm getting this from astrology, but what I'm picking up and how I'm seeing it is in my energy, how I see the universe, is that I just see it like kind of like an elastic band that stretches, and we pull it all the way around, like wrapping it around your ponytail. And you just think you could put it around one more time, one more time, one more time, one more time. And it'll just hold it tighter and secure. If I become the strength, if I say I did this, or I can make this happen, then I'm going to be able to lock it in, and my ponytail is going to be strong, and I'm going to be strong, and it's going to be, but what you're doing is you are extending the elastic band. And it just feels like when you do, it's snap and break. And when it does, it unravels, and it might not fully unwrap itself, but it may get caught on things, and that's life. So it feels like, the elastic band has already broken. It's returning. I feel like it's trying to return back to its original place, but it's just hanging on. You're trying to pretend like you have all that ponytail, or you have that energy, you have all that masculine, or you have all, but now you're locked. You go from being all the way over here to all the way over there, Scorpio. I feel like you're just like, and you do it in almost everything in your lives. It's like you're it's all or nothing. And that all or nothing is not working. And so I feel like it's like finding that sweet spot, that happy balance, that place means that you're going to have to challenge yourself beyond your own bullshit. Um, Look beyond your own story that you're telling yourself and become very brutally honest with yourself on what it is that I need to really pull up. What is the pain story? What is the, what is the hurt? What is the why do I keep seeking and searching to be this? And why do I have such a false sense of identity? And why is this false sense of identity leading my way? And that might be an ouch story right now. And you're going to be saying, what a bitch. Like, I can't believe she's saying this, but it's not, I'm channeling this. And so what you're being told is that, what Kool-Aid are you drinking sometimes? What story are you, what story are you drinking into? Because you're not drinking you're not drinking your truth. There's somewhere that you're just not being honest and authentic, and you're trying to be too strong, too powerful in the wrong direction. Force will never, force will never bring peace. Force will never bring peace. Force will never bring happiness. Force will never bring joy. Force will never bring anything that you're seeking and searching that is for your truth. So with that, we got Love in the Dark, which is ultimately in reverse. So attitude, that's coming up with this. This is Shyama. And this is my deck of Oracle cards. These are worn and torn because these are beta testing decks. They're just on paper. They're not even fully created yet. And that's kind of where you are. See, you got Forever Yearning. And that's even in your future. I'm like, oh, we're not even there yet. And so I got the soul connection of Adoma. I feel like, there's your divine feminine, you're walking, the curtains will open. You've been in this energy, you get that crystal ball, but you start to see things in the crystal ball that looks like it could be glamorous or wonderful. And then you try to recreate an image based on, say, looking at, a superstar, someone who's a star, a Marilyn Monroe or something like that. And you're not. They weren't even Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe was not Marilyn Monroe. Remember that. And I don't know why Marilyn's coming up, but Marilyn Monroe was not Marilyn Monroe. That was a character. That was a character. And her hurt that she felt was the love internal of her true self tapping at the door, knocking at the door and saying, can you not see what you are doing? You're selling your soul. And when you're selling your soul to be something you're not, or to create a world you're not, you're going to suffer. You're going to be punished. You're going to be punishing yourself, not punished by anyone else, but you're punishing yourself on a consistent basis based on constantly trying to heal a previous sting, a wound. And sometimes it's yourself stinging yourself. And those battles that are there, the Scorpio energy and that Scorpio sting is there not to, it's that defense when needed to defend, not to be in defensiveness all the time. And so the Love in the Dark is that the truth of who we really are is really in that darkness. So the grief is the grieving that comes when we say, okay, do I allow myself to walk through this and let myself let go so that I can be reborn, not into even who I kept trying to be, but who am I here to be? And sometimes it's not, sometimes the greatest support people are the most powerful people. We don't have to become something big. And this is such a clear thing that I teach all the time is when you look at an empire or a building that needs to be kept up, those that keep the building are the ones that are doing the most powerful work sometimes, because the cleaning, if a building is not kept clean, if it's not maintained, if the maintenance is not kept, there is no building. So the builders, the uh, the carpenters, the maintenance people, the janitorial, there is such value, and it's not a less than. And it's only the hierarchy of pay that makes it to be different. It is not the value of the people. And when we get ourselves stuck in that story, then we start to believe that we have something to prove. And we have nothing to prove. To live by our passion and by our truth means that our body hurting, things hurting, our heart hurting, is your truest of truth speaking to you? And are you not listening? And when you're forever yearning, and when you're forever yearning, forever seeking and searching, that you're not willing to look in the depth of the darkness to discover that you left the best of you behind a long time ago. And ever since then, there's been a version, a half-assed truth that's been walking forward. That you need to let your divine feminine, the internal mother, has to be the one that nurtures you now. And you need to let yourself be nurtured, let yourself be loved, let yourself be what you need to be. But there's some serious changes that need to take place. And this is the month of it. That stargazer, which is the Frida, she's in reverse. So she's definitely in the attitude energy. And these are inspiration and attitude. These are meant to be like mirror reflections. These are called the everyday goddess, the everyday woman. And these, when you hold it up to a mirror to yourself, it's to be a mirror to you, a mirror to, or if I'm reading to a person, the mirror to the person who I'm reading to. You have everything in your hands. You are everything you need to be within. A lifetime of trying to create something or trying to find it or fighting through this world is keeping you your truth. And that leaves us in stinky energy and not using that old stinky energy to be jet fuel to force us forward, to get us to move forward, to push us forward. And so finding that truth, coming back, means that you may have to take, another trip around the sun, a whole nother year, because if you have stretched that tension to just get to a place or to just to be something, then it's always on the verge of snapping. And when it's always on the verge of snapping, it will never be content. Never be. And when you keep trying to stretch it to fit, and you keep trying to extend it to fit, extend your energy, extend this sense of truth, it's not working. So it's time to come home. It's the awareness of truth, and it's in reverse. And this is the Corina card. There was a real truth of me that I had to come home to. And, and to be honest with yourself, to be truthful to yourself. And who and what image are you looking into in a comparison to who you think you should be and what you think you should be? And the more you do that, the more that you become that resistant, instead of being a warrior of love, you go to war into the mind and the chaos. And it doesn't take us to pretty places. So to get to our truth, to get to what we really are, is an embodied light of love. And my journey of walking with, I call it my best friend Jesus, since I was a little girl, really had me looking into the mirror, fighting so hard to be a good person that I didn't realize I was very mean to me. And in that journey, that energy of that Christ-like energy has been holding my hair back while I was ill. It was supporting me in times when I didn't know that it was. And even when I fell away or went to places that were unhealthy, it still walked with me. The choice to come back to us. And when I started to look into the reflection of that light and look beyond it and stop looking at that light as better than me or more than me, I realized that was already built in me. And that whole image of that Jesus that I had since a little child, the invisible friend, that invisible friend, I realized was actually the innate of me. And I had nothing to prove, but I had everything to gain by walking into me. And that's what you have to remember. And I hope somehow this resonates with you for this month, because this month is going to challenge you. This month is definitely a up and down, but it's also a freeing month. And you have an opportunity to free yourself of all those other things and to step back into that sense of grace, to return to an essence of truth, love, and light. And for some of you, I feel like you're returning all the way home. There's changes, there's change in direction, possibly a move, but I feel like it's like finally able to step back and go back home, go back to that place of peace, and to not to be continually telling yourself the same pain story you were telling yourself all along, that you don't belong, you don't know where you belong, you have no family, you have no people, you have nobody. And you're going to stop looking in at those false facades of what you have told yourself and start to look in at truth. Remember, Marilyn Monroe was not Marilyn Monroe. That's just a character. You rarely seen the truth of Billie Jean. I think that was her name, right? There was a person behind that, but it's amazing how the person believes they're not enough because the world often told them they weren't enough, or somebody took that away. And that was not the truth. We're not our character. We're a truth, and that's more than enough. Be that. Be that. That's who you put the gentle nurturing into. By hugging her, that's a fight for her. Feel it, know it. And that could be her, him. But there is shifts and changes. But you can't bring your shadows into any more relationships, any more work, any more anything. You've got to step into a truth in order for things to start to come into alignment. And I hope that resonates with you this month. Have a beautiful November. I'll see you in December. Bye-bye.